Hey, this is Stevie Rochelle from Tough and Metal Sledge.
Hey everybody, this is Pat Torpy from Mr. Big.
This is Glenn Hughes, the voice of rock. What's up? This is Dave Rude from Tesla.
And you're listening to Music Mania.
Music Mania. You are locked and loaded on the Music Mania podcast.
Thank you so much, man. I love talking about the things that I love, Clint. And for you to allow me to do it with you, I am the Music Mania podcaster.
You wanted the best! You got the best!
We roll tonight to the guitar bite. And for those about to rock, I salute you.
You ready for some screaming heavy metal? Scream for me, Brazil! Scream for me, Brazil! We rock!
You are now listening to the Music Mania podcast, brought to you by CD Warehouse in Gladstone, the #1 hard rock podcast in the Midwest, featuring hard-hitting interviews with rock's living legends. And now, here's your host, Clint Schweitzer.
Have no fear, the Music Mania podcast is here. Coronavirus or not, we are powering on into the month of March. I'll tell you what, everybody's been affected in one way or another. As you've seen, so many events canceled, and for me, it's been really tough because not only do I do the Music Mania podcast here, so I'm traveling to concerts and events a lot. Festivals, certainly. We've seen Coachella and Bonnaroo. South by Southwest have already been given the axe. This is a tough time if you're someone trying to travel to events. Not only that, but sporting events. I cover sports as well. I was hoping to be on hand for the NCAA tournament. Now, I do believe media are going to be allowed into some of the events, but no fans played for the March Madness tournament. Nobody can really believe what's going on right now in America, but we are combating that with a dose of Music Mania here this week, as our guest is going to be Tommy Skeoch, former Tesla guitarist, and he has formed a new project called Resist and Bite. And I'm really intrigued by this. He has launched this new project, and joining him in the group are ex-Lynch Mob lead vocalist Nathan Utz, guitarist Steve Stokes, drummer David Parks, and bassist Brian Powell. And we've already, there's a YouTube video for the Resist and Bite song, The Myth I'm Living. It is a great tune. I can't wait to hear more. Can't wait to get into it with Tommy about what this is going to be like, kind of how this differs from his songwriting style that he used in Tesla. We're going to talk maybe about the 30-year anniversary coming up of the 5-man acoustic jam, kind of his time in Tesla. Does he have any regrets? He's been out of the group now since 2006, where he's been replaced by guitarist Dave Rude, who's done a tremendous job in his stead. But for Tommy, legions of fans still, follow what this guy does. He actually has been doing guitar lessons that are available on his website, and I believe he's still doing those. We're going to talk to him about that. So definitely head over, find the Tommy Skeoch official Facebook page, find the Resist and Bite Facebook page so you can follow everything that's going to be coming from them. Can't wait to see it. I've really always been such a fan of Tommy's from kind of his inception into Tesla, his songwriting style. Songs like Edison's Medicine and Freedom Slaves from that album, which he co-wrote. So we're going to get into all that and much more with Tommy. Excited to do this. It's going to be right, but at the time that this is recorded, which I'm recording it a day early because I've got the Tommy Skeoch interview and then heading out on the road to cover the KISS concert in Tulsa. Yes, as of now, it's still happening. So this podcast may air this Friday, and there'll be no concert. As of now, KISS, the End of the Road tour, is still forging on. They've canceled the meet and greets, but as of now, that they played in, I believe, Lubbock, Texas, a couple nights ago, and going to be down in Tulsa to cover the show. David Lee Roth opening. Excited to see this leg of the tour. I saw the first leg and the second leg, so to me, I'm going to go and see this thing while I still can, and I'm going to check it out, and I'm going to review it. They've changed up the set list a little bit, added songs. They add Tears Are Falling, I think, and Do You Love Me, swap that out with Crazy Nights, which I was a huge fan of the edition of Crazy Nights the time I saw them back in September. So I'll have to see KISS this weekend. So I got this interview with Tommy in, and I got some great questions from the Tesla group Facebook page. So we're going to ask Tommy, definitely some of those questions, along with getting into a lot of the Resist and Bite stuff and much more. So excited for that coming up. So before I get into my interview with Tommy Skeoch this week, got to tell you about my sponsor, CD Warehouse in Gladstone, Missouri. Guys, for over 22 years, they've been a staple of the Northland. They buy, sell, and trade CDs, DVDs, vinyl, and more. Unfortunately, the party at CD Warehouse is coming to an end this May, so go in and see them. They're blowing out merchandise. Go see what they still have up at CD Warehouse. They are open and keeping it alive until May, so go see owner Randy Ringer. Tell them that Music Mania sent you, and there will be a discount, or it's on us. Guys, Music Mania Podcast, always proud to be partnered with CD Warehouse, and personally, CD Warehouse has been such a big part of my life. I worked there whenever I was in college, and really an indoctrination to so many great albums and artists that I learned from guys up there like the owner Randy Ringer, who's a personal friend of mine to this day, Bert Huntsman, guys like that were working there, and just kind of, as a younger guy, I'm 35, they really helped, they kind of led me down this path. They helped do that for sure to lead me down to this kind of style and era of rock music that I so love today. So get to CD Warehouse in Gladstone, Missouri. Tell them Music Mania sent you, and there will be a discount, or it's on us.
Clint, what's the word, man?
Well, the word is I'm here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I was supposed to see Kiss tonight, and they've pulled the plug on her, Tommy. The world's gone mad, my friend. What's happened?
Yeah, the world. Well, I think the media has gone mad, and women have gone mad. I think that's the case myself.
Well, this affects, people like you that have toured the world and have been out there and have been playing live since you were young. You people like you know more than anyone. Is as someone that has traveled and played shows from corner to corner, does this concern someone like you, or do you feel like this is just come on?
No. I think it's kind of. I understand that we got to be safe. It's another strain of the flu, but basically there's a percentage, and if you look at the percentage, it's very low, and it's basically older people that are sick. Now, I'm not an expert, but I look at the percentages. No, I'm not very worried about it. But my wife is, the other guitar player's wife is, and they're driving us nuts.
Well, and that does stand for something. So you've got to.
She handed me a thing of Clorox, like a thing of wipes to bring with me on the airplane tonight. I'm flying out tomorrow to Tennessee, and I'm like, I'm not going to wipe the seat down, and I just, it's not my style. If I was really worried or something was going to be bad, then maybe, but I'm just not. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm dead. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's okay to be a contrarian in these situations. What's it been like, Tommy, for you? You've over the years, you've always been. You've always kind of been out there. You've always been accessible. You've been doing, guitar lessons via your website, but you've been doing a lot of interviews lately. I know you just did one with our good friends, Decibel Geek. I think you've got our Mitch LaFon coming up. You've been doing a bunch of interviews lately. What's the blitz been like for you? Have you been enjoying doing that?
Yeah, the interviews are okay. Sometimes it goes down a road where I don't totally want to go down, but I'm I kind of wear my emotions and I'm just wear everything on my sleeve, kind of. So that gets me into trouble sometimes, and I just end up saying things that I just are probably better off not even being said and don't have anything to do with anything. But that's my bad, I'm just a kind of a weirdo. I don't know.
Oh, that's okay. Blabbermouth right now is they're waiting for that quote that they can put up on the headline. They're just waiting for it right now. I'm sure they've got someone in here ready to just make a clickbait headline, and it'll be perfect. So
I don't know. I don't know how important it all is either. But anyway, sometimes I go too far. I don't know.
Well, I will say it is important because we put this up in the Tesla fan Facebook page group, and I've never had so many responses and so many questions. We've had we've done hundreds of interviews on this podcast, and so there's a lot of people with a lot of questions. But this project,
I have been very kind of a little bit of a recluse in the last 10 years. I've still been working and doing stuff, but yeah, I could see that.
Well, it's just great to to hear you working on something that this Resist and Bite. We got to get into this because it's incredible. I think that whenever I heard the song, which is The Myth I'm Living, the one that you guys put out on YouTube, I'm so blown away, and so many people are blown away. Just kind of take us to the genesis of this. How did this all form? Take us back, and how did Resist and Bite get off the ground?
Sure. So, okay. So I was, I put out, it's over the last 10 years or so, I put out a couple of solo records, right? And, I mean, they're nothing special, just having fun and keeping busy, right? And just being creative. But, anyway, through that, the last record I did, the Skin Suit record, right, it's just me and my partner, this friend of mine that sings, and we just did the record for fun, kind of. And, this Dave Parks, the drummer from Resist and Bite, had reached out to me and just said how much he loved the music, and I just post like little things on my Facebook page. And through that, and he's also a friend of Troy's, and through that whole connection, he ended up drumming on that record, on the Skin Suit record, and then from there on out, we had just talked about music and where it's at, and just kind of, and he really loves my style and kind of what I bring, and so we just got to talk and just thought, man, we should do a band, man, all guys that have kind of done it, and no BS, and just go out and have a good time with it. So that's kind of how it started, and I just started about 2 years ago. I started writing songs for it, and I haven't stopped. I've still been doing it. I mean, we've got a lot of songs, but anyway, so that's kind of how it started. I sent him some songs, and then he gave the CD I sent to him to Steve, the other guitar player, and he kind of did his take on it, added a chorus. We kind of collaborated on that, and Myth was the first song we wrote. So, when right out the gate, I heard that, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable!" And we had to be a band. I couldn't. There was no other choice after I heard that, right? And so now we've been just working on songs. We had another singer, and that didn't work out. So that was tough. But then we got Nate right after that, and man, Nate just took it to a whole nother level as far as lyrically and writing, and he's just really creative. And now we have enough for almost a double record. If we wanted to do a double debut record, we could do it. And the other thing about that, it's not just to do a double debut record, but the songs are there. I mean, every song we do, man, we're just tripping because I just feel it, man. I believe in it. Of course, I believe in the music. I don't give him anything that, I just give him the best of what I'm writing. And then, Nate has taken the rest of it as far as with the lyrics and everything. It's just going great. Everyone gets along really good. It is quite amazing. It's just, we're having a great time.
That is so tremendous to hear. I think that the response has been so positive. It's funny, if you go to the YouTube video, the very first comment on there says, "Take my money now." People are into this, man. People love that. And so
I know.
It's great to hear.
I'm sorry. The thing about Myth is that that's the first demo we ever made.
Yeah.
And I mean, that thing sounds like a record. We did master it for the first radio show we did when radio started calling. They said, "Well, bring a song." We don't really have a record out. We don't, and that's the thing is, we don't have a record right now. So it's like, people are thinking this is the record. I don't know what they're thinking, but it's a demo, man, that we just kind of trimmed up and mastered and got it done halfway decent, and that's what you're hearing. It's quite amazing how good it sounds. I know, I'm tripping on that.
Well, I promise this is not a rhetorical question or a joke in any way, but I mean, you've talked about, I think in a previous interview, that you're looking at maybe some tour dates this summer. We talked at the onset, of course, we know what's going on in the world right now, but is that kind of still the plan? You guys getting out and doing some live shows? Because that'd be a big part of this, of course.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as touring, probably not this summer. What we'll do this summer, we were going to start rehearsing for doing shows next month, and we decided to go back in one more time and do some more, putting some more thoughts together, just because it's been going so good. And I really am kicking around the idea of a debut double record, because I think it would be ballsy and really kick ass, and the songs are there. So, yeah, we're going to probably do some one-off shows this summer as well. And Nate's got another band, an Aerosmith tribute band he does. So he's kind of booked this summer a lot, so that will keep him busy. So we'll probably do some one-off shows this summer, and then start booking for the next summer is what we'll do. As far as really getting out there and going, but we'll probably do some shows this year. I have a feeling we will.
Well, absolutely looking forward to that. I wanted to ask you about kind of working with another guitarist in Steve Stokes. Of course, famously, you worked alongside a virtuoso and Frank Hannon for so many years in Tesla. What's it like working with another guitarist, and what, kind of relating that to how it was, working with Frankie for so many years, and so many great things that came from that.
That's a great question, because it's a trip, man. I mean, me and Frank had like this... I always say, we never really talked about much, and I don't know how great of friends we were. He's kind of weird. I don't know, but it's like we just never really talked about stuff. We just kind of did it, you know what I mean? And I have been saying in interviews lately, and this is true, I wish we had done a lot more as far as working out. I mean, we could have done some more really good harmony stuff, and we didn't do a lot of that as much as we should have, I don't think. But anyway, working with Frank is amazing. He's an amazing guitar player, and our thing together, and I noticed I've got this, I'm not a real virtuoso type guitar player, right? So when I get with guys like Frank, it's like it makes for this, I don't know what it is, but the thing is, what I'm trying to get at is that me and Steve kind of got the same thing. He's a lot like Frank in that way. I mean, he's not the same kind of guitar player, but he's very good and just really brings that kind of musicality to our band, kind of like how Frank did to Tesla. So that really works well with my playing, and man, I love it. And that's the first thing I noticed, because on Myth, he's playing the solo on that, Steve is, and that was the first thing I noticed, how, like on Myth, how our guitars kind of interacted, and it was quite nice. And as we've gone on, of course, I see what it is, and we kind of click, kind of like me and Frank did. And we don't really talk about the stuff either. We just kind of do it, although we have, and I have, I want to do more harmony stuff. I got 2 guitar players, and I like doing that, and I don't think we did it enough in Tesla, so we're doing it a bit more in this.
Mike Rizzo from the Facebook page wants to know if you keep in touch with any of the guys from Tesla, and he said that he saw in an interview a while back where you said that you maybe didn't like the fact that Dave Rude changed the intro to Edison's Medicine. True or false?
Oh, I did say something about the intro. I'm not saying I don't like it really, or that's their business. I don't get into that. I just, I know live, I saw a clip of him, and it's like he just was playing some blues. I mean, he wasn't even playing the intro to it, so I don't know if he couldn't cop it, or it is a crazy intro, so I guess I wouldn't blame him. My style's trip. But, no, I mean, it does, I don't care, whatever.
Well, absolutely. Moving on, Vernon Pennington wants to know, how is the music of this new band, Resist and Bite, similar to Tesla's? I guess that's kind of a general question, but...
Well, yeah, it is similar, except where I wanted to go in Tesla is where I'm going with Resist and Bite. I always wanted to go a lot heavier. I always gave them heavy songs, and not all of them got used, so this is more, where I wanted to go with Tesla, more of a heavier vibe, but it is like Tesla in the respect that it is kind of diverse. We're more on the heavier side, but we still get kind of diverse like Tesla did. We got some pop songs. We kind of switch it up and go all around, but we're basically pretty heavy. It's a lot heavier, I think, than Tesla.
A good question here from Greg Cook. He asked, were you mad or even relieved when you exited Tesla back in 2006, and if your feelings have changed since then?
Matt, yeah, it's funny, a little bit of all of that. I mean, towards the end of Tesla, I was really messed up, right? And I wasn't behaving that great. And also I was kind of having issues with just, I don't know, it's hard to explain without sounding like a total asshole, I guess, but I just know, there was a little bit of, I was relieved in a little bit of a way, and I was mad in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, I feel like I was scapegoated, But, now how I feel is just, I don't know. I mean, over the years, I thought, okay, if they ever asked me to go back type of thing, I'd probably do it, That was my career, and that's how I make money, and it's all good that way. I would do it, but now I would say, no, I wouldn't. I mean, if they ask me right now to come back, and that's not even on the table or even being talked about, but if it was, I love what I'm doing right now. I'm really happy with it. So there was a little bit of all that, I would say, yeah.
Well, Tommy, obviously these last 14 years, you've had to probably find yourself. I mean, you've had ups and downs, personally, professionally. It sounds like you come out the other end, though, man, and that this direction is really positive for you. And I just couldn't be more happy for you right now, man, to be honest with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, man. Thank you. You know what? I feel the same way. I'm really jazzed, and yeah, it was, man. It did get bad, and it was weird, and I did come out on the other side of it. I feel relatively healthy. The thing with my health is I'm just getting older. I'm 58 years old, and you just start falling apart. So that's where I'm at with health, but not doing drugs or nothing, just, I may smoke some pot here and there, stuff like that, but, no, we're not doing the smack anymore, so we're doing good.
Absolutely. That's just wonderful. My good friend and the person that got me into Tesla, Bert Huntsman, has a question. He wants to know about the breakup in '96 and kind of what led to the forming of Bar 7 and why you and Jeff Keith decided that you two were going to kind of go off and form Bar 7 after Tesla.
Okay, so in '96 was the first time I left, and after I left, they fell apart, and we were all kind of fucked. It wasn't just me, right? And then a couple of years went by, and me and Jeff started talking about stuff, and then we just kind of just formed a band. I mean, it wasn't like some grand plan, but we did that, made the record, and went and toured on it, and then that kind of, I was still doing a lot of dope then and stuff. It didn't really fall apart, but there was some issues there. But then, I don't think the guys in Tesla liked that me and Jeff were out doing stuff and they weren't doing anything. So then Brian had to step in and go, "Oh, we should put Tesla back together," and that's what we ended up doing. And then I still carried on with my business. It went well for a while, but I still was misbehaving a little bit. And by 2005, I was just like kind of like that one guy said, I was just like sick of it, and they were sick of me in a lot of ways. So,
well, all's well that ends well, of course. With regards to that, so we're just skipping around here. This is how we do things here, Tommy. We just keep it rocking here. This is kind of unbelievable to me, but in November we're going to be talking about the 30-year anniversary of the 5-man acoustic jam. If you would take us back to that, the importance of that for you guys, kind of how things changed around then. Just kind of take us through that. What an important record
that was a thing kind of between us and our management. We just started talking about doing a whole show, and a lot of the, we had to kind of test the waters. We did some shows like that, but it was fun, man. We, I took like a song like "Coming at You Live," and we broke it down into like a blues jam, or same with "Modern Day Cowboy." I broke that down like to a kind of a almost like just a mellow kind of Spanish type song. It came out like sounding like, so it was really creatively, it was a lot of fun. And then of course we recorded it in one night, and that was like, not expensive to do. And then the record went double platinum, and it was amazing, man. It was just like, it came out great. Everything about it was like kind of a win-win kind of thing. It just kind of snowballed, yeah. And then, the whole thing about it, like we brought, acoustic to the forefront. I don't know about that. I mean, people have been doing it forever. Zeppelin broke down and did acoustic sets. We might have been the first band to like have a real popular, like a top 10 hit around an acoustic, setting type thing, like where we were all acoustic. I don't know, but I don't think we were breaking down any doors or anything like that.
Well, Frank Hannon recently did a kind of a song and like a mini documentary about called South Side, about growing up in the Sacramento area. Just kind of take us back to your roots, Tommy, musically coming up. What kind of was going on in your life that sort of pushed you in the direction, and kind of the genesis musically for you, and Sacramento obviously being a big part of that. Just take us back to your kind of musical genesis.
Well, I mean, I don't know. My mom gave me a guitar like when I was 13, I think. I didn't even start playing until I was always interested in music, though, tootling around the piano. And then she got me a guitar, and something about that was crazy. So I love that, just the noise of it, you know. So I started learning how, and I'm still learning how to play, right? That's just how it is. But anyway, and around the town, you know, Frank was really. I started playing in bands, and back then it was like you would do 5 nights a week, 4 sets a night, and you would play covers, and people would dance, and you'd play the hits of the day, and then everyone, of course, wrote their own little songs that they would, you know, play in a set every now and then. And then as I was doing that, and I was probably one of the more popular bands in Sacramento, and then I started hearing about Frank, you know, and he just was like this 15-year-old kid that was like blowing everyone's mind around town. They're just like, this kid Frank, you know, he's fucking amazing. And then I guess Frank had seen me. I didn't know this at the time. I learned later that he had seen me playing and just thought I was the Bam Shizzle or something like that. You know, he thought I was great or whatever, my vibe. So he expressed, you know, wanting to jam together. We jammed a few times, and then I was in another band, and, you know, things just weren't working out with, I guess, their guitar player. And then I got out of this one band I was in, and they said, hey, man, come join us, you know, and we flew off. I mean, I joined them, and a week later I was in Guam for 3 months playing to the troops over there, and we did that. But, you know, we started writing songs immediately for you know, we wanted to be rock stars. We love rock, man. That's the genesis right there, if you talk about it. I just love, I mean, not so much being rock stars, but just fucking rocking, man. I love it, you know. That's just what I do, man.
And it's,
you know,
it's incredible, and it's just so that's why for so many people it's so great to see this project coming about and Resist and Bite. And I would urge everyone to go over to the Facebook page so you can follow all the goings on. You talked about the album, the double album, perhaps, if you will. What do you have kind of a target as far as a time frame on when you kind of want to try to get that out? What's kind of the deal?
God, I wish that you know, I wish that it was going like it's I wish we had a record right now and people were listening to the Myth and all this was going on would be perfect, but we do not, you know. And then it's like, God, do we just, you know, put these demos out as a record? They do sound really good. I mean, our demos we've been working hard on, and we, you know, we make them like almost like we're making a record, you know. We try and make them pretty nice, but as far as tracking, we don't spend as much time on, you know, getting certain tracks just perfect, so they're a little looser that way, because we're not doing a record, we're doing a demo, right? But, you know, as far as I want a record out right now, I want to be doing it right now, so it couldn't happen soon enough for me, and, you know, I want to go out and work, you know, and play and stuff, but probably realistically having a record out and supporting it, I would say at least another year before that happens. I mean, realistically, unless we decide we want to put a record out of these demos that do sound awfully good, but I don't think good enough, you know. I think we have to make a record. Well,
The Myth I'm Living it's one of my favorite songs that I've heard so far in 2020. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, let me ask you, what do you think of the production of that?
The production I thought was actually really good. I thought this was, I mean, I was not considering this to be a demo. I thought, you know, that this could be just a single. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, it did come out rather well. I just know we could get the Sonics. I think we can get it a lot. I know we can get it a lot better. I mean, I just know how we worked on it. We, you know, like everything else, we've just been running through stuff. We don't spend a lot of time on making every take perfect, and maybe that's part of it. I like that kind of stuff. I mean, that's how I make records usually. I don't think, you know, I like it to sound like it's off the cuff and not too perfect anyway. So I don't know, but sonically, I think like the low end, the bass needs to be a little bit better. So that's great, though. I think it did come out too. For a demo, it's quite amazing, and we're very proud of it. Yeah.
Well, Tommy, I can't thank you enough for coming on with us this morning. It's been a true pleasure. I guess
thank you.
Before I let you go, I got to ask you: Are you still doing the guitar lessons via your website? Want to send listeners to that if they want to sign up for that?
No, I got to take that down because someone just bought one the other day, and I'm not even doing them. I don't have time to do them. I'm working so much with the band now, so I was doing that for like the last, you know, from when I left in 2006 till about a couple of years ago, I was doing lessons pretty solid, you know, and I was having fun with that. But, yeah, I haven't been able to. So, no, not doing lessons. Anybody, if you're hearing me, don't click on there. I'm not doing them.
Good info. We will definitely not send people there then, but we will send people to your Tommy Skeoch official Facebook page and the Resist and Bite page. to keep up with all the goings on. There's going to be a lot coming up. Tommy, thank you so much for coming on with us. It's been a true pleasure. We've wanted to make this happen for years. It finally has come to fruition.
Awesome.
Have a great weekend, man, and we'll talk soon, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. All right. I'll talk to you later.
You bet. Thanks a lot. Great to catch up with Tommy Skeoch, talking about Resist and Bite, talking about Tesla, and everything in between. Tommy's a down-to-earth guy, man. He's had his ups and downs, his trials and tribulations. We are just so thankful that he's making music, and everything sounds tremendous so far. So excited about that. Remember, head over to the Tommy Skeoch official Facebook page and the Resist and Bite Facebook page, and you'll get more information on the release and the songs they got coming up. So excited about that. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Remember, our website is now ignitroentertainment.com. Yes, Music Mania is now a subsidiary of Ignitro Entertainment, which is going to feature everything on the entertainment side that we do, which means our nostalgia podcast, pro wrestling, and now Music Mania as well is going to be featured on the Ignitro Entertainment website. Of course, our old website, musicmaniapodcast.com, will still be there, just maybe not updated quite as much as Ignitro Entertainment. That's where everything will be under from here on out. Please subscribe and leave us a star rating on Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Play. Any way you choose to take in this podcast, we appreciate the feedback every single time. We'll be back next week. As long as I'm not coming down with coronavirus, can't wait to come at you guys next week with another big interview. Great guests. We've got them lined up all through the spring and summer months right here on the Music Mania Podcast.